allow them to do a lot more things in communities. And the excuse they used was that small communities are trying to keep people out. I don't think so, not in Dayton. I mean, we're one of the
We don't have any
fastest
problem.
growing towns in Bristol County, if not the fastest. And we are keeping in place rules, regulations from various boards that we feel are beneficial. So I absolutely support what the zoning board has done here. And I just don't like some of this pushiness that I've witnessed.
And I don't actually look at it as the town of Dayton is trying to prevent people out. I look at it as the city of Boston is trying to clear a little bit more space for itself. So that's how I look at that. But no, I agree.
If I could just add, some of us went to training last Friday and spoke about this, and there definitely is going to be a housing shortage in Massachusetts. They think we need another 135,000 housing units by 2025. So that's going to impact the town. We have a good growth going on now, and we did do one of the things that they asked for as far as the accessory apartments. Before you had to go before the zoning board and get permission, blah, 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 but now by right you can have it, assuming you meet the code with the building commission, you can have an accessory apartment. So we are increasing our units, and we need another 40B coming to the town, so I just don't think we want to change zoning so easily as they want us to. Although they're offering grants, we know how that goes. You may initially get some money, and then it stops.
It wouldn't offset if we had just a majority, all the zoning changes and then people moving in. And just, I agree. I don't think we need to necessarily make it easier for people. We're having no problem with development in town. So
We're going to have growth, and they have smart growth. We got to
actual smart growth, not
right.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it's important too for people that are looking, who are living in more urban, suburban areas, if they're looking to move out to what they consider to be the rural areas, as opposed to a bedroom community for Providence or wherever, there are people that have had property in these areas for years, and they don't understand that when you come out to communities like Dayton, there isn't public sewage everywhere. Yes, we have water, but not the entire town. There are parts of town that do not have water. And they come out and say, what do you mean we don't have this and we don't have that? And those are important things that people need to look at. The schools here attract people, and that's fine. But I also think that if you have a really rapid growth where people are just all pushed, we already know we got issues with schools that we will address timely, but we're not going to eat the whole apple at once, you know. So we need the time, and the slow, steady, controlled growth, I think, is the way for Dayton to go.
Absolutely. Nope, I agree. I think as we develop, we're making strides to hopefully become a rights to farm community, maybe a green community. So we're trying to protect, and like I said, the open space and recreational plan. So we are aware of these developmental changes, and we're trying, as we proceed and as we evolve as a town, to still hold true to those things that I think we probably agree is Dayton at its heart. So, no, totally. What I also wanted to say is, I was a member of the zoning board. It was an honor to serve with you, Mr. Pacheco. I know you are all learned people on the board, so I take that recommendation to heart, and I will honor that absolutely. So thank you for letting us know. Yep. So we have had discussion. Anything else? All right. Hearing none, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. That motion passes. Again, thank you, Mr. Pacheco. Some brief announcements. The Planning Board is holding a public hearing, as Town Administrator Aaronstein said, tomorrow, May 10th at 6:30 p.m. in the lower level of Town Hall for the proposed zoning bylaw changes for a marijuana overlay district. Bulky item pickups are scheduled for the week of June 11th through June 15th. Tags are available for purchase at the Selectmen's office, and the rate sheet is available on the Board of Health webpage. There will be an information session regarding the proposed right to farm bylaw, as well as the warrant article for the Agricultural Commission on Thursday, May 17th, 6:30 p.m. at Town Hall. The public is encouraged and welcome to attend and ask questions. There will be 2 upcoming Green Communities information sessions held concerning the proposed stretch energy code. One will occur on Monday, May 14th at 7 p.m. here in Town Hall, and also Wednesday, May 30th at 7:30 p.m. at Town Hall. The Friends of the Dayton Public Library will be holding a Meet the Candidates night on June 11th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Dayton Middle School. This is in advance of the special town election that will occur on June 28th, 2018 from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Dayton Elementary School. So come out and meet your candidates. And the Dayton Historical Society has an upcoming event. On May 19th, there will be a plant and yard sale at the Winslow Davis Museum from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 508-669-4004 to reserve a yard sale space. Did you have any other announcements?
No.
All right, let's move on to Selectmen's reports. I'll be very brief. I attended, as I said before, and I know you did too, Selectman Goulart, the Spring Expo for Bristol Aggie, their 2018 Spring Expo. It was fantastic. The building commissioner's wife was there selling her owl book. Incredible. I saw a bunch of inside in the indoor market. There were a bunch of like Taunton Watershed had a booth. So I was speaking to them over there. I was speaking to several folks about science. There was like a random science booth, which was really cool. There was a farming booth. I did get a bunch of pamphlets. If you're interested in farming or ranching, I do have a pamphlet from the federal government on different programs that can help you get up and running, which fits with hopefully becoming a right to farm community. So it was really a great time. I saw Jonathan Gray, who's chairman of the Green Communities Committee there. He was working for CMAP, discussing farming and fresh produce and microgreens. And it was just a really special time. It was packed. So it was a pleasure. I had a good time. My parents were there. And just good work to the Bristol County Agricultural High School. It's a great event, and it means a lot to the community and even to folks outside of Dayton. People come from all over, and it's just a great tradition.
I attended that, and I enjoyed it. I've gone every year that I've been able to since the first one. And what I thought was great was they actually had fresh vegetables for sale. Yeah. Not that I'm a Swiss chard person, but they had other greens that were for sale, and there were carrots, and a lot of the vegetables were gone by the time I got to the little farm stand. There were alpacas, and several pens of them, nice shrubs. There was a private landscaper there who had lots of pretty roses that were on sale. But the Aggie School itself had plants in the greenhouse. They had shrubs and flowering bushes outside. And the thing that I went into where the auditorium was, and I did see Mrs. Aguiar, and Taunton Watershed Alliance was there. Bristol County Beekeepers were some of the ones that I remembered. But what I found was interesting was when I left, I had to go to I was going to Bridgewater to a alumni chamber choir concert. And as I drove by the fields on the south side of Center Street, there appeared to be a demonstration going on of various types of tractors and various types of plow arrays. And there were people lined up, and there were Aggie School employees and probably students explaining to people why they have the plowed arrays with certain staggered, and how the area they're trying to plow. And but I thought that was very interesting because I haven't seen that done before.
There were antique tractors, I think private people put in.
Cool, I saw those too.
Wow.
I know when I was, as I slowed up to watch, there was a gentleman coming towards me, and he was driving a big tractor plowing under the rye that was out there. But I thought that was a great idea too, because I've seen the antique tractors there before, but never actually have seen them demonstrate. I mean, I worked on a farm, so I knew about that, but I'm sure there were people that looked at it and thought, well, why do you have 3 plows there, and why do you have this way, and the harrows, what are those things, what's the point? So it was very, very interesting and informative, I thought. A whole new look at farming, as far as what actually happens when you have to prepare those fields. And those fields are where they grow all the experimental corn crops, so that was interesting. The other thing I wanted to mention, the previous Saturday, I attended the annual Lions auction that was held at the town garage. And that was very well attended, and I've got to give the auctioneer credit. They got rid of everything and anything that really no one was interested in, even for $1, ended up in a dumpster. But when I got there, that big garage was full. And in no time, by noontime, they had pretty much cleared it out, and they had auctioned off the truckload of wood, and I believe it went for, it was estimated at over 3 cord, and it went for around, I think it was a little over $700. It had an opening bid of 5, I believe, and no, I didn't bid on it, because I got a yard full back from previous auctions. But that was also a great event, and for any people who may be new in town, this is just one more example, or 2 examples of what goes on in this town. You just have to ask, what's happening this weekend? Not every weekend's occupied, but there always seems to be something going on.
Absolutely.
That is, it's nice for the family, it's informative, it's entertaining,
Absolutely.
and so everyone needs to take advantage of those things.
Absolutely. Anything else, Selectman Goulart?
Nope.
Madam Administrator?
No.
You're not a selectman, but if you wanted to report on anything, you're more than welcome. Okay, let's move on to acknowledgements. I'll be very, very brief because I don't want to embarrass you, Mr. Aguirre, Commissioner Aguirre. I was not at the department heads meeting. Sorry, I was working. I just wanted to, I know you were awarded the Big Cheese Award, so I wanted to congratulate on being our Big Cheese this month. Your work on Old Town Hall in the lower level and what you're doing in the upper level is probably slow coming in your opinion. I understand that, but it's good work. It looks great. People are proud of the building. And I know you put a lot of pride in your work, and I appreciate it. I know Selectman Goulart appreciates it. Madam Administrator, who selected you to be the Big Cheese, appreciates it. Just know that your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and same for everyone else in this building and everybody else that works for the town. Thank you all for all that you do. And thank you, Big Cheese Commissioner. All right, so we're gonna move on to the approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of November the 15th, 2017 be approved.
I'm going to step down and second that discussion. Okay, so now I don't feel so bad that I have a set from March that I'm still working.
I just want to say, the reason why it took so long to get these minutes approved,
This was a tough one.
if anyone watched the meeting, and I know a lot of people did, of November the 15th, this was the night that what we thought was going to be 5 or 10 minutes to discuss the pilot agreements that have not been approved at town meeting. Went on and on and on. And Mrs. Brady drafted the minutes, and it took me, I don't know how many times I watched that meeting, and finally got it down to, how many pages we ended up with?
Yeah, this is only like 5 or 6.
5 or 6
Good.
pages. Obviously, anyone who wants to watch that meeting, it's on the site, but there was so much discussed that night, but a lot of it was repetitious, but it still went on and on and on because Selectman Zagrafis and I, even though we stated from the beginning what the position of this town was, let's say there was a lot of rebuttal, and I'll leave it at that. But in any case, that's why it has taken so long. So I am sorry for holding this up, but
I'm sorry for
it just
Mrs.
got.
Brady having to type them up.
No, I actually typed them. No. I asked her to mail me what she had done, because it was only that part of the discussion that went on and on.
It was a long meeting.
And we were threatened with litigation that night. It was an open public meeting, and that reference was made a couple of times, even though the gentleman said, well, that's not what I mean. Well, that's what he said. And I wanted to make sure that the minutes for the most part, followed as closely as possible without writing verbatim minutes of what actually happened. So that was another reason it took so long and why I watched it so many times, but phew, that's all I can say.
Thank you.
Having to watch that again. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The motion passes. I'm going to sign these now. And thank you both, Selectman Goulart and Ms. Brady. We like to tie up loose ends at these meetings. Sorry, public. Thank you. And this is for you, Ms. Brady. All set. Next, we're going to move to, thank you, the approval of the warrants.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the following warrants be approved. 45A-18 in the amount of $86,175.23 payroll. 45B-18 in the amount of $545,879.48. And 45C-18 in the amount of $2,295,985.25. That's the DR assessment. And the last two being accounts payable be approved.
I'm going to step down and second that motion. Discussion? Hearing none, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion passes. Mr. Pacheco, you're our only public. Did you have anything else? Okay. All right.
Lost our public.
Exactly. Well, there were only two other people. So as chairman, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Exception 2, to conduct a strategy session in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically the police chief and fire chief, and Exception 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the police union and clerical union, and to discuss strategy regarding potential litigation, as an open meeting will have a detrimental effect on the negotiation position of the town. Open session will not reconvene.
I will make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right. So, do I need to? I'm going to
Step
step down
down,
and
yeah.
second that. Let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion passes. Roll call.
Aye.
Aye. Cable, thank you so much for hanging in there tonight. We were shorter, which is awesome. We got all our work done. Have a great night.